I would start with current situation of agriculture in the Czech Republic and other states of the East Europe. After '89, it competed with countries of Western Europe because European Union contributed by funding them. Czech agriculture in the transformation period after 1990 wasn't getting any subsidies. We were getting overproduction with dumping prices and demanding productions like vegetables or cattle breeding wasn't able to cope. The reduction of domestic production was a result because since '89 it had stabilized on 70% of the original level. The agricultural production was better off at 60%. There was a change in structure of production, but my colleagues have already mentioned that. That's why I just had one graph. And you can see that intensive plants like potatoes and vegetables was not very favorable. It was 40% of the original production, and vegetables are 50% of the original production. Cattle breeding was affected as well, so the production is something like 40% of the original situation. Milk production 60%, only poultry production increased by 40%. The reduction of agricultural production and structural changes caused the fact that the Czech Republic ceased to be self-sufficient, even if we have a potential to be self-sufficient. The overproduction at present is in grain, rapeseed, milk and beef. And in case of potatoes is 83% and fresh vegetables 40%, pork 80%, poultry 74%, and eggs 85%. In 1989 we were self-sufficient in all products. The poor balance is in vegetables because there is a negative balance of the foreign trade amounting to 11 billion crowns and in fruits 13 billion Czech crowns. For vegetables, we have good conditions in the Czech Republic, and we have famous vegetable growing areas in many regions. But overflowing of cheap vegetables from the EU at the beginning of the 90s caused the reduction of the situation. As you see on the graph, in 2017 we've produced just half of vegetables, cauliflower 9%, cabbage and tomatoes, garlic only lower percentage of the original values.
The agriculture of the old member states has been developing continuously and the production has been growing. In 1990, the corporate structure was changed. In the early 1990s, the production technology also changed and the opportunities have been used more efficiently. According to the official results of a survey in 2014, the total production per hectare in the Czech Republic was 72% of the EU level. and 73% of the level of Germany. In comparison to Germany, we are at 40% in milk and at 36% in meat. We have heard that the number of stock units has dropped, as the diagram shows. We export cereals rather than using it to feed livestock. Now about the intellectualized services. Agriculture is seen as a part of the primary sector. So according to some, it should just deal with produce and leaving more intellectual services to others, but that would prevent farms from improving their profitability. Subsidies have been seen as a favorable factor, but it's rather per area than per production. So how should Czech agriculture develop to rejoin the family of successful countries? According to Professor Chuba, we can only do well if we increase the production or reduce costs. So most promising resources are in improved knowledge or application of inventions. So that is what some would call intellectualized services. What are they? Norwegian economist Lovendale studied them in detail. According to what she wrote, they are knowledge-based services rendered by graduates, usually focused on the development of scientific knowledge in the relevant area of expertise. They involve a higher degree of services to order. They require a large amount of independent work and personal judgment of experts rendering the services. They usually require detailed interaction with the client of the firm. So that involves not just the knowledge accumulated in research institutions, but also in individuals. Intellectualized services also inevitably include various unpatented ideas and other stimuli of improvement of organization and management, as well as methods of financing and trading. This is a diagram of what I have just described. Knowledge-based services, new technology of solutions, organization, management, activation, financing, trade, ideas, and improvements. The intellectualized services are rendered by groups of experts to solve a complex problem on the basis of the latest knowledge. And This group should not just offer a solution, but in fact realize it. And after completion, the same team can move on to do the same on another farm. So it is a complex process, what we see by under intellectualized services. It's something comparable to the new railroad, Chinese railroad to Tibet. The development of agriculture at present is a complex problem. The complexity is due to strong competition, competitive environment, the large amount of new findings and new knowledge in biology and related sciences, and therefore it requires cooperation of a large number of experts. Intellectualized services are the perfect solution to this. Production of field vegetables can provide a good example of what I've been talking about, including the proposal of a system not only of production but also of irrigation, of post-processing, of marketing and the like. Including sales trajectories, planning, development of an information system, training of growers, and the intellectualized services should trigger off the management of the whole process and then handing it over to the farm establishment. Florist production could be approached in the same way.
Až 8 metrů vysokých v hydroponii, jak je má třeba firma.
Hydropony is a good example. It's 4-fruit greenhouse, or aquaculture, or aquapony. This kind of productions would inevitably require intellectualized services. Improvement of animal husbandry and production of beef. That is also a demanding program if we should attain the level of such neighboring countries as Germany or Austria. In the last few years, we've been exporting about 90,000 tons of beef per year, and at the same time importing 41,000 tons. The total of farmland has hardly changed at all in the recent past, so we do not intensively use the land we have. Moreover, we have a surplus of cereals which could be profitably used for increased meat production. Mountainous areas were used for grazing in the past. This kind of activity is discontinued. And maize is used more for the production of biogas than as fodder, feedstock. Thence another need for intellectualized services. The production of pork needs improvement of the sales structure for the product. To add value to livestock production, to improve the quality, classification of cattle, and develop specialized productions, introduce up-to-date, modern animal husbandry, observe modern principles in pasture grazing. It is further necessary to improve the production of feedstock, which should be adjusted to local conditions. And only additional feedstock should be purchased from outside. Information systems are also necessary, and there has to be a lot of cooperation with specialized services, expert services. Who should initiate and warrant these intellectualized services? Well, schools, colleges, research institutions, and specialized companies. So far, we have no such specialized companies in our agriculture. So the government should step in and include such services in subsidy programs. The European Commission should warrant the implementation of such programs in agriculture. And these should be extended. The intellectualized services should be extended to all sectors of agriculture through the activities of the European Commission. Thank you for your attention.